Okay, back to business. And credit card fraud and counterfeiting are costing businesses billions every year. But now French startup Prooftag has developed a product which it says will limit the damage. In contrast to magnetic strips, the so-called bubble tag technology is impossible to reproduce. Well, the company CEO Franck Bourrieres, he joins us now from the Paris summit, where he's attending a venture capital summit. Frank, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Interesting.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's interesting technology there, but we've heard that so often that something is absolutely counterfeit proof. What makes your product so different?
Well, basically, we consider it that all technological product today available to fight counterfeiting was based on the assumption that the more difficulty would be to produce the technology, the more easy it would be to defeat the counterfeiters. Well, we went the other way around. We decided to make a product which is very simple to produce, at least for us, but impossible to reproduce. For the simple reason is that we are using chaos. It's a natural chaos which is producing the bubble tag. And therefore, today, there is it's not technological possible to reproduce such a chaos. And that's the basic foundation of our technology.
Okay, so the bubble tag, if I understand rightly, basically is produced haphazardly. So there is a tag and it creates bubbles, and that is very unique, and it depends on the actual process. So there's no possibility to reproduce that.
Exactly. What we're doing is we're currently working like biometric. We're producing this bubble tag without knowing exactly the identity which is going to come out. And then we record it into a database. It's pretty similar than your fingerprint. Until it's not been recorded, you don't know who this fingerprint belongs to. It's the same for a bubble tag. What we do is we produce the tags, and the nature is producing this tag. But what we do then is we record it into a database, and this database can be then accessible through any kind of mobile device or through the internet. The big advantage of a technology is that it can be authenticated with either a reader, an optical reader, or also with the visual eye. Therefore, you can prove to the customers that it's buying the genuine product just by looking at the internet and comparing the pattern, the visual pattern of the bubble tag.
Now, in terms of cost, you were saying that this is a technology that doesn't cost a lot of money. Does that mean that if I want an identity card or any kind of card with the bubble tag on there, it doesn't actually cost me more money as the end consumer?
Well, as the end consumer, it should cost you less than if you're using any smart technology. But in any way, what we will be able to do is to adjust the cost of the technology to the need of the company. For example, the product will be recorded into a database. If the lifetime of the product is only 10 months, the validity of the bubble tag will be only 10 months and not 20. And therefore, that allows an adjustment of the cost directly to the need of the company which is willing to product its product.
So apart from credit cards and identity cards, what else is your target audience? What sort of sectors are interesting to you?
Well, mainly we hear a lot today about counterfeiting. Counterfeiting is up by 50% in Europe since the last year, and that's dramatic, especially on some special markets such as the pharmaceutical industry or the spare part industry for automotive or aviation. And therefore, there is a lot of legal risk involved for the people producing this kind of drugs. And what we want to do is to propose to this big pharmaceutical company a solution to protect their product and protect themselves from the legal risk they incur due to counterfeiting.
The last one, Frank, I would like to ask you. Obviously, you're attending their venture capital summit. I wonder what the current environment for venture capital is. How are you feeling it? Is it fairly easy to attract business angels to support your ideas, especially when it's a technology idea?
Well, first of all, this is the first capital investment we're attending, and we picked up this one because it looked like the main one in France and the most prestigious. Just for example, we've got investors from France, of course, but also from Europe and around the world. Our technology needs to have a global expenditure in the next few years, so therefore we needed to have important investors. Just for a rough idea, we're looking for about 5 million euro for this technology, because we need to be able to produce tens and hundreds of millions of bubble tags for the prospects who are currently in contact with us.
Okay, Frank, thanks very much indeed. Very interesting, and good luck to you. Franck Bourrieres joining us this morning live from Paris.